U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says a new coronavirus economic aid package being unveiled Monday would pay the country's 16 million unemployed workers 70% of their one-time salaries. But tough negotiations lie ahead, with opposition Democrats over the scope of more assistance to offset the severe economic effects of the pandemic. On Fox News Sunday, Mnuchin called the 70% wage replacement figure a very fair level. But that figure, if adopted by Congress, would sharply cut federal benefits to the unemployed by two-thirds. The federal benefit that amounted to about $600 a week is set to expire this week. One mid-May report said a fifth of the unemployed workers declined requests from their employers that they return to work because their wages were lower than what they were collecting in jobless benefits. Also on Sunday on CNN, U.S. President Donald Trump's economic advisor Larry Kudlow called the 70% figure quite generous. Kudlow said the overall $1 trillion economic aid package would include another round of $1,200 checks to most adults in the United States and payments to businesses to retain employees rather than cut the size of their workforces. But Democratic lawmakers are demanding that the $600 a week boost in payments to the jobless workers to be kept in place through the end of 2020. They're pushing for an overall coronavirus aid package totaling $3 trillion. Spain's foreign minister has announced that Spain is safe for tourists. Speaking to reporters, Arantxa Gonzalez Leia rebuked Britain for imposing a 2-week quarantine on all travelers entering the country from Spain after a rise in Spain's coronavirus numbers. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Sunday the Russian Navy will be armed with hypersonic nuclear strike weapons and underwater nuclear drones, which the Defense Ministry said were in their final phase of testing. Putin, who says he does not want an arms race, has often spoken of a new generation of Russian nuclear weapons that he says are unequaled and can hit almost anywhere in the world. Some Western experts have questioned just how advanced they really are. The 2 police officers in Kenya have been arrested in connection with a shooting in which 2 people killed, a police service announced on Sunday. The shooting happened at a market in eastern Garissa County on Saturday during a protest against the arrest of a man suspected of murder. Campaigners have raised concerns about policing during the pandemic. According to Amnesty International, Kenyan officers have killed 21 people since March for failing to comply with coronavirus prevention measures such as curfews and wearing masks. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un declared an emergency and a lockdown in a border town after a person suspected of being infected with coronavirus returned from South Korea after illegally crossing the border. This was reported on North Korean state media on Sunday. The government has denied the presence of any coronavirus infections for months. The state-run Korean Central News Agency said the person was put under strict quarantine and that all who had contact with that person are being investigated, given medical examinations, and put under quarantine as well. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Sunday that India needs to be extra vigilant as the coronavirus persists, even when the country registered a record number of patient recoveries in a day. Infections from the coronavirus have risen rapidly in India. It's the world's second most populous country, and India has seen more than 48,000 cases recorded in the last 24 hours. So far, India's had a total of nearly 1.4 million cases, and it's lost nearly 30,000 people to the illness. Malaysian authorities launched a search on Sunday for 24 Rohingya refugees who went missing while trying to swim ashore from a boat off the resort island of Langkawi. Muslim-majority Malaysia has long been a favored destination for Rohingya Muslims seeking a better life after escaping a 2017 military crackdown in Myanmar and more recently refugee camps in Bangladesh. Last month, 269 Rohingya were detained on arrival in Langkawi. At the time, the head of the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency said those 269 people were transferred from a larger mother boat on which dozens of people were believed to have died and were thrown into the sea over a 4-month voyage.